Which celebrity do you think has built their whole brand off of playing dumb? Pulling off this kind of role is way harder than it looks. In fact, the dumber the character, the smarter the actor playing them has to be, because they have to understand just how stupid their character really is. But some of them play their part a little too well, and it has a massive impact on their public image. So you might be surprised to learn that a lot of these so-called idiots actually have a higher IQ than you. In some cases, they've built entire empires off of the fact that people think they're not the sharpest crayon in the box. So let's take a look at the top 10 Airhead celebrities that are actually secretly smart. Number 10, Paris Hilton. When The Simple Life debuted in 2003, it was described as a new low in reality TV. Paris portrayed the ditzy blonde rich girl alongside Nicole Richie. She took that role and really ran with it. From a chihuahua in her bag all the way to her signature catchphrase, "That's hot." The socialite found herself at the top of the social hierarchy, and it was all from playing a little dumb. But it was only after the release of the 2020 documentary This Is Paris that fans started to realize the truth. The series revealed that the hotel heiress is actually a genius. Not only has she been putting on a baby voice for most of her career, but when it comes to business, she's always been very intelligent. Speaking to InStyle, she said, "I'm a lot smarter than I pretend to be. The world got introduced to me with The Simple Life, with its kind of ditzy blonde airhead character, but that's never who I've been." The movie made Paris look like a spoiled brat who claimed to have never even heard of Walmart, but none of that was real. She said, like, obviously I know what Walmart is. It was all about entertainment. Anything that I was doing, I was always planning in a way. I wanted to entertain the audience. It turns out that the dumb blonde act really paid off. Paris gets six-figure paychecks for public appearances, launched 19 product lines, and basically created a new genre of celebrity, those that are famous just for being famous. Number 9, Kesha. The singer burst onto the radio waves in 2009 with her party hit TikTok, which has since been certified as 8 times platinum and sold more than 25 million copies in North America alone. But it also solidified Kesha's image as a wild girl. In fact, most of her songs after that centered around her getting drunk, wearing a lot of glitter, dancing on the street, and causing general mayhem. The stuff that's not exactly associated with being an intellectual. So it was surprising when rumors started to go around that she was actually very smart and had achieved almost perfect grades and test scores while she was in high school. The truth is that Kesha has an IQ of over 140 and achieved an SAT score in the 1500s. As a result, the singer ended up at Barnard College, which is a sister school of Columbia University in New York City. There she studied psychology and world religion, but she ended up dropping out during her first year because she wanted to pursue her music career. It turned out that her messy party girl persona was more or less exaggerated for commercial purposes. People thought she was joking during her hilarious interview with X Magazine when she said, "I get off on solving a really hard maths problem. Just like when you write a great pop song and get excited, I feel the same about equations." So maybe she was being completely serious after all. Number 8, Ashton Kutcher. You probably know him as that dim-witted pretty boy Michael Kelso from That 70s Show, or as the husband of Mila Kunis. Ashton really shined in the comedy genre, in films like Dude, Where's My Car and Dumber and Dumber. But all of these roles had one thing in common. They required him to dumb things down quite a bit. As a result, few people knew of Ashton's incredible intelligence, as he actually had an IQ of 160, the same as Stephen Hawking. Prior to being an actor, he'd studied biochemical engineering at the University of Iowa with the intention of finding a cure for his brother's heart ailment. But that path took a backseat when he realized that he could be far more successful with his acting talents, so he went to Hollywood instead, which ultimately worked out pretty well for him. But when he's not working in movies, he's off using his smarts to be a massively successful venture capitalist. Ashton has used his extensive knowledge of the IT scene to invest in several startup companies that have gone on to be huge. For instance, he was an early investor in companies like Uber, Spotify, Airbnb, Skype, and Shazam because he saw the potential in them, and those went on to do incredibly well. In fact, to date, he's invested in over 70 companies and built up a portfolio worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So if you look beyond the charm and good looks, he's actually a wildly successful businessman. Number 7, Ken Jeong. You know him for his lovable but goofy characters on screen. He played Mr. Chow from The Hangover, the hilarious Spanish teacher on Community, and made an appearance on Crazy Rich Asians. But did you know that Ken Jeong is also a licensed obstetrician? Ken went on NPR News and said, "Internal medicine was my specialty, basically general practice with an emphasis on adult medicine. During the day, I was a doctor. At night, I was a comic, and it was really just to let off some steam. It became like golf in many ways. Most doctors have golf as a hobby. Mine was doing comedy. Not only that, but the actor was apparently so serious about his job as a doctor that you could barely tell that he was a comedian during his off time. He told People magazine, "I was so intense as a doctor and I was always stressed out. Patients were surprised I did stand-up comedy on the side, but many have since wondered where on earth did he find the time?" Well, Ken actually started pursuing acting while he was still a sophomore at Duke University. In fact, he briefly considered majoring in drama while he was doing his pre-med coursework, so the passion was always there. After practicing medicine for several years, his big break came when he was cast in the 2007 movie Knocked Up. As you guessed it, a doctor. This is when he decided to quit his day job and pursue acting full-time. Number 6, Jennifer Coolidge. For 30 years, the actress has been a staple of our screens. It's often argued that her characters fulfill the archetype of a blonde bombshell, mixed with pure cluelessness, while others have labeled her as nothing but a bimbo airhead. On the surface, she seemed to be an it girl of the early 2000s. She exudes playboy with her voluptuous figure, big blonde hair, and tiny pink outfits. There could be a lot of reasons behind that typecasting, but when she plays the role so well and has nailed it down, it actually makes a lot of sense. Jennifer is best known for playing Stifler's mom in American Pie and Paulette in Legally Blonde. She's also in Two Broke Girls, Friends, Glee, and now she's in The White Lotus, where she's made a name for herself playing similar, often sexualized but hilarious characters. But unlike other actors, her talents cannot simply be written off as someone with good comedic timing who knows how to play a little dumb. Jennifer displays a certain kind of empathy and vulnerability beneath her roles that make her almost self-deprecating and incredibly lovable. This is made up of little facial mannerisms, lip purses, eye squints, as well as that high-pitched voice and nasally laugh. Although she's made a successful career for herself with her characters, she's always been in on the joke. Speaking to The Guardian in 2013, she said, "It takes a smart person to play dumb. I think if you truly believe deep down that you're dumb, it really helps. It really comes out." Overall, she's always been a great deal more intelligent and more self-aware than people perceive her to be. Number 5, Kim Kardashian. Society has often dismissed the Kardashian family as stupid, and out of all of them, Kim seems to have the biggest bimbo reputation. In 2007, when Keeping Up with the Kardashians first premiered on the E! Network, she was only introduced to the world in one way, as the pretty brunette friend of Paris Hilton. With her Valley Girl accent, party dresses, and of course her infamous tape that leaked in early 2007, audiences stereotyped her as an attractive but not very bright spoiled rich girl. But no matter what you think of Kim Kardashian, it's clear that she's achieved a staggering level of worldwide fame. Aside from the obvious business savvy of personal marketing, she's always been clever in the way that she handles her social media presence. By creating relationships with her fans online, she's been able to build a massive empire, like booming cosmetics companies, multiple clothing lines, and side businesses. But Kim really showed her smarts in early April of 2019, when she revealed her growing interest in the criminal justice reform and announced that she was studying to become a lawyer. When the news was first revealed, many were skeptical and outright said that she was not smart enough to pursue that career. But in December of 2021, she surprised everyone by taking up the baby bar test and passing after her third attempt. Although she has yet to pass the California General Bar exam, Kim is well and truly on her way to becoming the real Elle Woods. Number 4, Nolan Gould. Known for his portrayal of Luke Dunphy, the dim-witted goofball on Modern Family, the actor's performance was so convincing that it's hard to believe he's not that same lovable dummy off-screen. But in real life, Nolan Gould is just the opposite. In fact, he's a certified genius. He graduated high school at 13 years old, well before his peers. He went on the Ellen DeGeneres show that same year and explained how he made all that time for studying in between filming Modern Family. He said, "Over the summer, I did a lot of studying and I took an exam and tested out of high school. So I'm hopefully going to go on and do some online community college courses." Nolan has an IQ score of 150, allowing him to be a part of the Mensa International, which is the largest IQ society of the world. He even said himself, "When people learn I'm a part of the Mensa, they're shocked." The young actor also seems to be a natural comedian. While speaking to Ellen about Modern Family, he said, "It's really fun, but I realized something as I was driving in my limo on my way to the Emmys. Wait a second, I'm 13. This is my third time at the Emmys. What am I supposed to do with the rest of my life? It's all downhill from now." In addition to demonstrating an interest in education and acting, Nolan is also an aspiring musician. He's skilled at playing the banjo, the mandolin, the guitar, and even the didgeridoo. There's no doubt that he's an actual genius, and if he were a few years older, he would have been great on The Big Bang Theory. Number 3, Trisha Paytas. Once dubbed the most controversial creator on YouTube, the 34-year-old is best known for her videos where she eats and cries on her kitchen floor. Oh, and yes, she also self-produced 7 albums and professional music videos with millions of views. To give you some background, Trisha has been uploading videos on the internet internet since 2005. And you may recognize her from reality TV shows as well. She's been on America's Got Talent, Ellen, she was featured in an Eminem music video, and even had a cameo on Modern Family. Many have asked, how did she become so popular, and why did she resonate with so many viewers? It's true that breaking the YouTube glass ceiling is hard work, but Trisha was one of the first creators to crack the code. She realized early on that her only pathway to internet fame was to be outrageous, and so she built an empire off of being a living meme. While many people may underestimate her as a dumb blonde, she is an expert in the art of trolling, acting, and shocking viewers. So much of her fame came from simple videos, where she put on a persona and played dumb for the camera. Trisha made a music video professing her love for O.J. Simpson, insisting that she didn't know who he was, but saw that he was being released from jail and found him attractive. In 2017, she posted a video claiming that there was a vampire hiding in her house trying to steal her used tampons. As a result, her views skyrocketed, and she even went on to become the first YouTuber on Celebrity Big Brother UK. Number 2, Flava Flav. These days, the Public Enemy hype man is mostly famous for being a reality TV punchline. It's hard to forget Flavor of Love, which has been lauded as one of the most ridiculous things to come out of the 2000s. The crux of the show is 20 women battling each other for the honor of becoming Flav's arm candy. If you didn't know, Flav was once a part of the most innovative hip-hop groups of all time, but by all appearances, he had about as much to do with their music as a sports mascot has to do with whether a team wins or loses. It was there that he earned his reputation for being wildly outgoing, outrageous, and completely out of left field. But that's only the tip of the iceberg. Few people know that Flav is literally a musical prodigy. This revelation came from fellow Public Enemy member Chuck D, who claimed that he can play around 15 instruments, including the piano, drums, guitar, and more obscure instruments. From the age of 5, Flav picked up music and it became a lifelong passion for him. He was regarded as a child prodigy for teaching himself how to play everything from the saxophone, trombone, and even the French horn. Even on Flavor of Love, you can clearly see his abilities on the piano, as he created his own tunes, some of which were featured on the show. Beyond his general talents in music, Flav is also a gifted lyricist and has helped produce some of Public Enemy's tracks. And coming in at number 1, Rowan Atkinson, known for playing the not-so-smart yet delightfully charming Mr. Bean. The actor doesn't necessarily come off as a genius, at least not at first. That's mostly due to Atkinson's insane talent as a performer. The character Mr. Bean is arguably not that smart. He's essentially the definition of a man-child, whose bizarre antics have made him a worldwide phenomenon since he was first bumbled across our screens in 1990. But Atkinson himself is actually a genius. He has an IQ of 178, which is unthinkably high. He also has a background in electrical engineering, having studied it both at Newcastle University and Oxford University, one of the most prestigious educational institutions in existence. It was there at Oxford where he met writer and director Richard Curtis, with whom he co-created the iconic Mr. Bean. Ironically, it was only in bringing to life that dim-witted character that his true genius really shined. His talent for physical humor, which may be tough to deliver without speaking, solidified the series as a global success. Interestingly enough, he never expected it to be more than a one-series wonder, but 30 years on, and Mr. Bean has developed a huge global fan base, with movies, animations, games, apps, and merchandise. When speaking out about the success behind the show, Atkinson said, "Mr. Bean is essentially a child in a man's body. Across all races and cultures, the behavior of children tends to be the same and is easily identified and laughed at. Childish, anarchic behavior will always be funny." So who do you think was the best at playing dumb? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.